Welcome back class to the second part of second chapter of environment Shankar IS functions of an ecosystem. Let's start. Then we have the six types of biotic interaction between the two or more organisms. First one is mutualism. Mutualism is the one which have both species benefits. Means we have species of different kinds and they are interacting with each other and they both are benefited in the mutualism. Second one is, let's we have example of mutualism that the pollinator gets food and plant has its pollen transferred, that at the flower bird came and pollinator, this bird gets the food from the plant and plants has its pollen transferred to the another flowers for cross fertilization through this predator, so both are benefited. Second one is commensalism. Commensalism means one species benefits and other is unaffected. First one is benefited and second one is does not affect through anything. The example is cow dung provides food and shelter to dung beetles. The beetles have no effect on the cows. Third one is competition. In the competition both species are harmed by the interaction. For example, if two species eat the same food and there is not enough for the both may have access to less food than they would if alone, and they both suffer a shortage of food. Then we have next predation and parasitism. In the predation and parasitism, one species benefits, the other is harmed. In the commensalism we saw that one species benefits and the other is unaffected, but in the predation and parasitism one species is benefited and other is harmed. For example, example of the predation, one fish kills and eats parasitisms, and tick gains benefit by sucking the blood and host is harmed by the losing blood. Fifth one is amensalism. In the amensalism one species is harmed and another is unaffected. Like a large tree shades a small plant, retarding the growth of the small plant. The small plant has no effect on the large tree. Last one is neutralism, that there is no net benefit or harm to either species. Both don't have any benefit or harm to each other. Symbiosis means any relationship where two or more species live closely together. So here are the figures that we saw in the above slides about mutualism, that both species benefits, commensalism one benefit and another unaffected. This zero sign is used for the unaffected, and plus one is for benefit and minus is for harmed. Parasitism, first one is benefit and second species become harmed. In the competition both the species get harmed. In parasitism one is benefited and second one is harmed. Predation one is benefited and another one species is harmed. In both predation and parasitism has the same. Commensalism, one species is benefit and other species not affected. Mutualism we have seen. Let's come to the biogeological cycles. The living world depends upon the energy flow and the nutrients circulation that occurs through ecosystem. Both influence the abundance of an organism and metabolic rate at which they live and complexity of the ecosystem. Energy flows through the ecosystem, enabling the organism to perform various kinds of work, and this energy is ultimately lost as heat forever in terms of usefulness of ecosystem. So the elements or mineral nutrients are always in circulation, moving from non-living to living and then back to non-living components of the ecosystem in a more or less circulation fashion, and this circulation fashion is known as biogeological cycle. As name suggests, bio means living and geo means atmosphere. First cycle is nutrients cycle. The nutrient cycle is a concept that describes how nutrients move from physical environment to living organisms. This physical environment to living organisms and subsequently recycle back to the physical environment. This movement of nutrients from the environment to plants and animals and again back to environment is essential for life, and it is a vital function of ecological of any region. Nutrient cycling is a typically studied in terms of specific nutrients which with each nutrient in an environment having its own particular pattern of cycle. So types of nutrient cycle are these types of nutrient cycle based on the replacement period. A nutrient cycle is referred to as perfect or imperfect cycle. Perfect nutrient cycle is one in which nutrients are replaced as fast as they are utilized. Most gaseous cycles are generally considered as perfect cycles, means replaced as fast as they utilized, and in the sedimentary cycles are considered relatively imperfect as some nutrients are lost from the cycle and get locked into the sediments, so become unavailable for immediate cycling. Based on the nature of reservoir, there are two types of cycles, namely gaseous and sedimentary cycles. Gaseous cycles where a reservoir is the atmosphere or hydrosphere. Sedimentary cycle where reservoir is earth crust. In the gaseous we have atmosphere or hydrosphere, and in the sedimentary we have earth's crust. So the gaseous cycles, in the gaseous cycles first we have water cycle. The hydraulic cycle is a continuous circulation of water in the earth atmosphere system, which is driven by the solar energy, and water moves from one reservoir to another by process of evaporation, transpiration, condensation. Condensation is the cooling of the water vapor in the atmosphere, and precipitation is the form of water back to the earth surface, deposition, runoff, infiltration, and groundwater flow. Next gaseous cycle is carbon cycle. As we know, carbon is the minor constituent of atmosphere as compared to oxygen and nitrogen. However, without carbon dioxide, life could not exist because it is vital for the production of carbohydrates through photosynthesis by plants, and it is the element that anchors all organic substances from coal and oil to DNA. So without in the carbon cycle, carbon is present in atmosphere mainly in the form of carbon dioxide, and carbon cycle involves the continuous exchange of carbon into atmosphere and organisms. Carbon from atmosphere moves to the green plants by the process of photosynthesis, then to the animals, and by process of respiration and decomposition of dead organic matter it returns back to the atmosphere. It is usually a short-term cycle. Next gaseous cycle is nitrogen cycle. Nitrogen is an essential constituent of protein and is a basic building block of all living tissue. It constitutes nearly 16% of weight of all proteins, and there is an inexhaustible supply of nitrogen in the atmosphere, but elemental form cannot be used directly by the most of the living organism. So nitrogen needs to be fixed, that is converted to ammonia, nitrites or nitrates before it can be taken by plants. So nitrogen fixation on earth is accomplished in three different ways. First one is by microorganisms, that is bacteria and blue green algae. Second one is by man using industrial process, that is first fertilizer factories. And third one is to a limited extent via atmospheric phenomena such as thunder and lightning. So the amount of nitrogen fixed by a man through industrial process has far exceeded the amount fixed by nitrogen cycle. As a result, nitrogen has become a pollutant which can disrupt the balance of nitrogen. It may lead to acid rain and eutrophication and harmful algal blooms. So we have nitrogen cycle. So we have different steps in the fixation of nitrogen cycle. First step is nitrogen fixing, that is done by nitrogen to the ammonia or ammonium ions. Then second step is nitrification. Nitrification is from ammonia or ammonium ions to nitrite, or then from nitrite to nitrate. Then third step is ammonification. Ammonification is the dead matter or animal waste. These two converted into the ammonia or ammonium. Then fourth step is denitrification, that is back to the nitrate or nitrite, and from the nitrate to the nitrogen. So let me tell you once again. First step of the nitrogen fixation is including the symbiotic nitrifying bacteria living in association with leguminous plants and symbiotic bacteria living in non-leguminous root nodule plants. And these plants are as well as blue green algae. And ammonium ions can be directly taken up as a source of nitrogen by some plants, or oxidized to nitrites or nitrates by two groups of specialized bacteria. Then first we have a fixation, that nitrogen to the ammonia or ammonium ion. Then we have from the ammonia and ammonium ion we have nitrates synthesized by bacteria in the soil, are taken by plants and converted into amino acids, which are the building block of proteins. Then we have from the nitrates and nitrites go through higher trophic levels of ecosystem during excretion, and upon dead of all organisms, nitrogen is returned to the soil. And this step is known as ammonification, that is the dead organic matter come to the soil back. And then we have denitrification, that the quantity of soil nitrates being highly soluble in water and back to and by system being transported away by the surface runoff or groundwater, and converted nitrates and nitrites to elemental nitrogen. Then we have sedimentary cycles. In the sedimentary cycle, first we have phosphorus cycle. Phosphorus plays a central role in aquatic ecosystem and water quality. Unlike carbon and nitrogen, which come primarily from atmosphere, phosphorus occur in large amount as mineral in phosphate rocks and enters the cycle from erosion and mining activities. This is nutrient considered to be the main cause of excessive growth of rooted and free floating microscopic plants. The main storage for phosphorus in the earth crust is in the earth crust, and on the land phosphorus is usually found in the form of phosphates. By the process of weathering and erosion, phosphates enter rivers and streams that transport them to the ocean. And in the ocean, once the phosphorus accumulates on the continental shelves in the form of insoluble deposits, after millions of years, crustal plates rise from the seafloor and expose the phosphates on land again. Second cycle is sulfur cycle. A sulfur reservoir is in the soil and sediments where it locked in organic and inorganic deposits in the form of sulfates, sulfides, and organic sulfur. It is released by weathering of rocks, erosional runoff, weathering, and deposition of organic matter, and is carried to terrestrial to ecosystem in salt solution. And sulfur enters the sulfur cycle is mostly sedimentary except two of its compound, which is hydrogen sulfide and sulfur dioxide. These two are gaseous. These two have gaseous component, and sulfur enters the atmosphere from several sources like volcanic eruptions, combustion of fossil fuels, and from the surface of ocean, and from gases released by decomposition. Then we have the succession or ecological succession. Succession is a universal process of directional change in vegetation on an ecological time scale. Succession occurs when a series of communities replace one another due to large scale destruction, either naturally or man-made, replacing one another. And succession is a progressive series of changes which leads to establishment of relatively stable climax community. In the succession, we have first plant to colonize an area, that is pioneer community is known as first plant colonize an area. The final stage of succession is called climax community, and the stage leading to the climax community are called successional stages. We have two types. First one is primary succession. In primary succession, on a terrestrial site, the new site is first colonized by a few hardly pioneer species that are often in the terrestrial. We have pioneer species are microbes, lichens, and mosses, and the pioneer over a few generations alter habitat conditions by their growth, and these new conditions may be conducive to establishment of additional organisms and may subsequently arrive at the site. The pioneer, through their death and decay, leave patches of organic matter in small animals can live, and slowly we saw the organic matter produced, and then it come to the community of organisms continue to develop, and it became more diverse and competition increases, and pioneer species disappear as the habitat conditions changes, and invasion of new species progresses and leading to the replacement of preceding community. Secondary succession is it occurs when plants recognizes